Gather around the table, boys and girls, for another session of Dungeons and Drakfus. And, well, our buddy Drakfu is being spied on by some, well, let's just say angry-looking Naga. I think he may have started some crap up with the Naga. I don't know how I feel about that, but we're actually here because our next dungeon is going to take us into Blackfathom Deeps. Now, believe it or not, in case you didn't know, or you haven't leveled an alt recently, Blackfathom Deeps has received a big facelift as of Warlords of Draenor. So it actually got revamped as of patch 602, which was the introduction Warlords of Draenor patch. And I apologize if the camera looks a little weird right now. I actually broke my chair broke, so I'm having to use a chair that I don't normally use. So if I seem a little uncomfortable or things like that, well, we're just gonna have to kind of muscle through it because there's really not much else I can do. And so now we are making our way into the Blackfathom Deeps, the revamped one, and I love the revamp of this one. I cannot gush about it more because basically it was reintroduced to have more of an old god influence, and we don't really have a whole lot of dungeons that do old god specific influences. So now that we have one, this is kind of something that people can look forward to as they level on alts or whatnot. But first, let's go ahead and start out with the lore of Blackfathom Deeps. Let's see if I can actually find it. We're not in Burning Crusade. No, we're not. Blackfathom Deeps. So, once dedicated to the Night Elves goddess Elune, Blackfathom Deeps was thought to have been destroyed during the Sundering, lost beneath the ocean. Millennia later, members of the Twilight's Hammer cult were drawn to the temple by whispers and foul dreams. After sacrificing untold numbers of ancients, the cult was rewarded with a new task: to protect one of the old god's most cherished creatures, a pet that is still in need of nurturing before he can unleash his dark powers on the world. And he's actually the final boss for it. But as you can see, we get a bunch of brand new models, some of which are Warlords of Draenor. So you guys can look forward to that. Let's go ahead and step into Blackfathom Deeps. And I still love that they kept the classic portrait, because that Naga is just badass. Pardon my French, but he is. That's a really good portrait of a Naga. And of course, we do have some quests here.
Man, help us! The Twilight's hammer be fixed him to sacrifice our green hides.
Oh, and I actually forgot to do this, so be right back. Okay, so you guys may have noticed that it was a little quiet. I actually forgot to turn it back up. I've been doing a lot of Legion recording, and for some of that, since some of the discussion, like when it gets into my headset, it's really loud, I actually turn it down a little bit because, well, for most of that footage, I'm not going to be using the audio of it, unfortunately. I'll figure out ways to be able to utilize it later. But now we have a quest here. The Rise of Akumai. We barely escaped the Twilight's Hammer sacrificial altar, but others be needing help deeper in. If the blood ritual be completed, they be unleashing Akumai the Devourer. Don't let this be happening, man. So we actually have to kill Akumai the Devourer. This guy actually gives quests for the Alliance, I think, but I'm not 100% on that. So again, this is a revamp that happened in Warlords of Draenor, and believe it or not, we actually didn't.
Find them, you imbeciles! Lord Bathiel will not be denied his sackful.
Ah, so we've heard of a Lord Bathiel. So this actually came in under the radar because most of the time when reboots would happen in Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria, they were not only going to get revamped for their level. So, like, for example, Deadmines was set up to be, like, 10 to 15, maybe even 20. But you'd get a heroic version at cap. So that the older players could also enjoy it, too, and not have to go to alts on it. This one, however, didn't get a heroic version. The only one that got a heroic version was Upper Blackrock Spire. So, at that point, a lot of people actually...
You should be honored, fools! Your blood will feed Akumai, the destroyer of Azeroth!
Oh, will it now? Will your blood feed him? There we go.
Intruders! Move the prisoners! Their flesh belongs to Lord Bathiel.
Okay.
Come along, heroes. water is fine.
Oh no! Oh, you dick! Actually, believe it or not, that's a later boss, and we'll get into him when we get there. However, we're not taking any risks. And of course, you can also see that we got a couple of new Murloc models. So like I was saying before, there actually a lot of my friends don't even know that this got rebooted. And I like go into Blackfathom Deeps. It's really good now because of Old God lore. And everybody loves it and wish that we would have gotten a heroic version for Warlords of Draenor. I do too. You know what? That would have been great to also establish kind of the Void storyline for the Alliance, since that's really what you deal with in Warlords of Draenor. Gee, can you tell I had lunch earlier? Let's go ahead and keep on killing some Murlocs. I kind of like this new Murloc model, and I want it used more. But all the models that I saw in Legion were not it. And that was a little disappointing. Alright, we're coming up on our first boss. This is how you know it's different, because this guy was just wandering around. Now he's a boss.
Resisting my magic is useless, Gamura. Soon you will be under my power. Then I shall unleash your fury on these meddling heroes.
Well, you now.
Wait, it's too soon! No!
Ah! Oh no! Gamura! Yes, this is supposed to be a... I believe he's supposed to be a homage to Gamera from Toei, or no, not Toei, Toho. But I haven't been able to confirm that. So if somebody actually could reach out in the comments and confirm that, please do. I think he is a homage to Gamera. Let's see. So let's go ahead and take care of Gamera, or Gamura, so that Toho couldn't get mad. And we have a nice little chest item out of it. Now, here's the thing. I actually can continue if I want. Oh, Pabura. The son of Gamura. Hi-fi. I'm so mean. I'm dealing with the old gods, man. They're driving me mad. Now, believe it or not, there's actually a bunch of side bosses in this place now, and all of which are pretty much associated with the Twilight's Hammer. So I'm going to try and show them. Show as much of them as I can, but I still find stuff in here that I haven't experienced. So I'm hoping that I've at least... Because I actually went through here. I'm actually recording a bunch of dungeon footage with my Demon Hunter so that I can eventually do like top 10 dungeons and things like that. And just have, you know, a bunch of footage to be able to work with. And so I think I found everything, but if I haven't, you guys can let me know. And maybe I'll go in on my Demon Hunter and fix that. Let's see. So, Twilight Disciple. Don't really care. The downside is that I don't have a whole lot of inventory space to work with. So, we'll see what we can do. Okay, so this is obviously another place with Domina. Actually, really quick, we forgot... Dang it, I keep on forgetting to do the lore here. So, Gamura. When the Twilight's Hammer cult arrived, its followers roused and imprisoned one of the last peaceful creatures living in Elun's temple. The cult delighted in tormenting the giant turtle for years, flaying its mind and body until it succumbed to madness, naming the beast Gamura. The cultists attempt to control its savagery in order to protect their lair. And since we're already here to Domina... Let's see, when Lady Saraves failed to provide magical protection, Domina sacrificed the Naga to empower her own dark ritual. Unlike her predecessor, Domina, Mistress of the Dark, has no fear of Akumai and hand feeds the beast countless innocents in order to curry favor with the old gods. See, like I said, it's very old god inspired, and it's awesome. Alright, I'm gonna bring you guys in.
Please, I don't want to die like this.
Oh no! What happened? Hi, Tamina.
My flesh will be claimed by the old gods.
So basically, she's a very stern believer of the old gods. And people are probably going to ask me, you know, can you tell us about the old gods? Not in this video. There's not enough time. I may put a link into Novel's Story of the Old Gods, or actually, another great way would be to do the Warcraft Chronicle, because they've also defined a lot of old god history. So I will put a link in probably to the Chronicle and the Creation of All Things, just so that you guys can have it. Now, I believe there's actually another... No, there is not. Okay, so we can just keep on going. And now we go over here. Whee! I Drakfu! I hit things! They die. I know, a Twilight Aquamancer. You know, I remember back in the day when Blackout Kick was kind of a cleave. Just gather guys up, because now we're just fighting endless amounts of Twilight's Hammer. Whee!
It's too far away.
There we go.
I can't carry anymore.
Of course I come across... Damn it. I knew this was going to happen. Alright, so basically we're just going to not pick up anything gray, and I'll have to get things out. And also, here is a... oh, what are they called? Gorloks. Gorloks. They actually were introduced in Wrath of the Lich King. They're kind of primordial Murlocs.
I'm out of range.
And also, here's another way that you can tell that this is an Old God-inspired instance. All these tentacles will start showing up the deeper you go. And you actually do need to take them out. Alright, so here's some Murlocs. What are they doing? Oh, here... Uh-oh. What are we doing here? Okay, so before we get in here, because there's going to be like a huge event that happens, this is the next boss, Subjugator Korul. The Twilight's Hammer commanded their powerful enforcer, Subjugator Korul, to cleanse the caves of anything not under their control. Gelahast was first to fall under the crushing strength of Korul, who then sieged control of the cave-dwelling Murlocs. Korul left Gelahast's twisted corpse on display as proof of his dominance, and now uses the Murlocs to hoard the possessions of those who perish in these caves. And he is actually a faceless one. I think it's Thraxi? No, it's Enraki. Neraki is their race's actual name, as of the Warcraft Chronicle. But he is a faceless one, a servant of the old gods.
Inventory.
And the Murlocs flee in the face of Akumai's wrath! All of these tentacles all over the place! I hope we don't have schoolgirl stats! No, we don't. We didn't take our +10 to schoolgirl. I promise we didn't. Let's go ahead and grab the remaining items off of him. Technically, they're like treasure goblins right now. I could loot them, but since I am hurting so harshly for inventory space, I'm not going to worry about it. And here's actually Gelahast, the altar of blood that they were talking about. And you can actually... Murloc slop. I forgot about that. And you get a little deep terror. There you go. Tentacles everywhere. There's something horribly wrong with me at times. Boonk. There you go. More tentacles. And now we kind of make our further descent.
Still alive? Stop them! The ritual must not be disturbed!
Oh, noes. Take care of the tentacle. And here you go. Tentacle for you! Hope you guys were fans of Lovecraft, because, wow! Old gods are inspired by Lovecraft. Okay, further into the tunnel we go.
Inventory is full.
And I am unfortunately I'm out of Murloc slop. But that's okay, because we're actually getting really close to the end of the instance.
Fall back to the sanctum. Lord Bathiel's ritual must not be disturbed. Thruck, do not let them pass.
Thruck!
Thruck, what?
This one I actually need to do after, because...
Guardian!
Trust me.
Treasure!
Oh, poor Thruck. This is actually based off of the High King Mulgar model, which is really cool. Let's go ahead and give Thruk's lore. I actually needed to do this so that I could get the other to happen. So Thruk. Thruk brings many valuable qualities to the Twilight's Hammer, but intelligence is not among them. Convinced that slaying the Guardian of the Deep will reveal vast hoards of gold, Thruk's diminutive mind has no room to focus on anything else, and he will fillet the flesh of anyone who breaks his concentration. So there you go. You got additional stuff for that. But the reason that I actually had to do that was because he actually unlocks another side boss. And I do know that there's a timer on it. You actually have to free the big crab thing that he was dragging up. So now that I've done that, I should be able to get access to this boss as well. I think it's over here. Yes, the Forgotten Pool. All we have to do is go deeper and deeper. And there it is, the Guardian of the Deep. Let's see if I can actually do this super fast, because I'm running out of breath. The Guardian of the Deep. Underneath the cursed Moonshrine ruins, ancient creatures battle for territory. Old Syracuse was driven from the ruins by the Guardian of the Deep, who was seeking new spawning grounds. Now the Guardian watches over thousands of eggs, until they can hatch and spread throughout the waterways of Azeroth. Alright, and so he's kind of an old god-tainted crab. And he is now dead, and we also get some treasure from him, too. I believe if you go... No, actually, never mind. I thought he guarded a treasure chest, but that's not the case. So let's just go ahead and grab this. Now we need to get out of the water. Or at least come up for air. There we go. So we're actually near the end of this instance, but already you can see how awesome... this instance was, and believe it or not, a lot of this stuff didn't exist. A lot of it's come in via Cataclysm assets and Warlords of Draenor, as well as some Mists of Pandaria assets for Old God stuff, and amongst other things. And it's really cool, and I actually think this is such a wonderful facelift that I agree with some of my friends. I really wish this had gotten a heroic version so people could know that it existed. Because it only gets better, especially since we're actually going to come up on the Mists of Pandaria asset in the next little bit. And here we go. This is another thing that wasn't there before, is a full-on... Hee-hee. Oh, noes! Get out of here! Get out of here! And here is Executioner Gore. He is actually the next boss. So let's go ahead and take a look at his lore. He is actually the one that we've been following this entire time. Executioner Gore. As Akumai's power grows, the need for more sacrifices increases. Dragging screaming innocents to their deaths is Executioner Gore's specialty, and the Twilight's Hammer has been making great use of his services. Hi there, I'm Drakfu. I hit things, they die.
I can't kill long enough.
Okay, Murloc skin bag. We don't really care.
Will rise.
Oh, will he now? Will Akumai rise again? Of course he will, because it's the old gods, for crying out loud. Getting rid of that dent stone, because it won't even sell on the auction house. Let's see.
Inventory is full.
Of course it is. So now we go into the Temple of Elune, which is now really broken. But in the Inner Sanctum, we actually come across Twilight Lord Bathiel, which is the one that they've been referring to all this time. And with that, I'm going to just grab everybody up.
Unfortunately, you will not live long enough to behold his glory.
Oh, I won't, huh? I won't, huh? That's a crying shame. It really is. I would really like to see Akumai's glory, and even though I think I actually will. So, Twilight Lord Bathiel, what is your lore? He's actually based on the Ascended Elementals model from Cataclysm. The Twilight's hammer do not tolerate failure, so the first command Twilight Lord Bathiel gave once he assumed control of Blackfathom Deeps was to throw Lord Kelris into the hungry maw of Akumai. Now this elemental ascendant commits the depths of his unfathomable power to raising the beast of the old gods and covering the world in black. Alright, well, then we're in here to stop you. Hi, I'm here to stop you.
One nothing, fools! Akumai
Okay.
rises!
Does he now? Okay, well, that's good to know. So all we need to do is use the fire of Akumai to open the door.
Akumai arises from the depths. You have earned the honor of being the first he devours.
You guys heard that, right? You heard that? This is one of the things I really like about it, is that the old gods are actually speaking. Because Akumai is arisen. Now, originally, I believe in the lore of the original Blackfathom Deeps, he was not risen, even though you could fight him. Now, his full power is risen, and he's actually very deep on. And they picked the perfect model for him, which actually came from Mists of Pandaria. Gotta go in here a little bit deeper, and there you go! Here he comes. This is actually based off of the, I can't remember its name off the top of my head, the Hydra boss in Throne of Thunder. But here's Akumai the Devourer and all the tentacles around. So it's time for us to finally end this. Akumai! Boom! I like being overpowered, what can I say?
Savor this victory, mortal. Now that you've heard our whispers, it is only a matter of time until you belong to us.
Considering the fact that I've now made three of you dudes my biatch, I don't think that's gonna happen. But still, really good voice work. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn this into Zaya.
Don't be shy.
That was amazing, Drakfu. The old gods be thinking twice before trying to make another bite out of you, man. We need to get rid of something. There we go. Now we can complete the
Stay
quest.
away from the voodoo.
Now I believe the Alliance can get a few more because again, this was the Temple of Elune. But there you go. You also get Strike of the Hydra, which is just a sword that can give corrosive acid. It's a two-handed sword. And that's going to go ahead and do it. Oh, actually, because I didn't read that either. But Akumai actually has a little bit of lore too. Akumai, an ancient evil, carries within him a small measure of the old god's power. This three-headed Hydra is greatly feared for his mindless savagery and insatiable hunger for living flesh. But the Twilight's hammer worships him as a divine sign that the old gods will soon return. Too bad he died really easy. So, yeah, and he's actually based off the model, like I said, in Mists of Pandaria, which is a really good Hydra model. But that's going to go ahead and do it for Blackfathom Deeps. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I love this rebooted instance. I really wish there was a heroic version of it. And, of course, I will see you guys next time for the next session of Dungeons & Drakfus.